My name is Sandra Theunick. My friends call me Sandy. We are here at St. Andrew's Priory in Honolulu, Hawaii. Paradise. I've been here, this is my third year. I came as an interim head of school. My job in my life has pretty much been academic, education and then leadership later on in my life. And so I've been a school head for about 30 years now. The Priory is a K-12 school for girls founded by Queen Emma in 1867. It's one of the oldest educational institutions in Hawaii, actually, and it's the oldest girls' school in Hawaii. And it's interesting to me that, back when the Civil War was being fought on the mainland, Hawaii was a very different place doing very different things. But Queen Emma was really a visionary in seeing the need for ordinary girls to have an education. At the time when she founded the school, missionary girls, the missionary children were educated at the Punahou School, and the girls of royalty, the royal family, were educated at what was called the Royal School. And everybody else really was kind of on their own. Girls were not educated for the most part. And so when the Priory was founded, it was for the girls who were motivated, wanted an education, access to, in those days I think it was nursing and teaching, basically, that they were prepared for here. It's quite inspiring. Whether they're Chinese, Japanese, Filipino, Malaysian, Samoan, whatever. I mean, we just have such a blend. And I've never seen more beautiful children in my life. Gorgeous children. Native Hawaiian also, and that's a huge population where we're striving to serve here. We're probably about 8 to 9% white people. And everybody else is a blend of something. Also, Episcopal schools are very open in terms of religious mix. I mean, everybody has a place at the table. You don't have to be a Christian to go here. We have Muslim girls. We have girls of all, flavors of Christianity. We have some girls who would be Buddhist. We would have, but that's Hawaii. That's a reflection of Hawaii. I really think there have been 3 themes in my life. One has to do with empowering women and basically I keep saying, just so they have choices, so that they can make choices because they know that they're strong enough to do that and that they have the ability, the power to do that. And that's what a school like this does. That's what a wonderful girls' school does. A girls' school changed my life. I just feel like it changes young women's lives to be able to make a choice that may not go with the flow of the culture. If she wants to go with the flow of the culture, that's great. That's just fine. If she wants to not go to college and get married and have a family, that's just fine. But she has the ability to make a choice if she chooses to do it. It's one thing to have no choice. And it's another thing to choose something and not choose something else. So I think that's one thing, the empowerment of girls and women. I think the other thing, I have a divinity degree from a Roman Catholic seminary. So it's basically the same training as a priest or a minister. And when I was in the seminary, I realized that the religions of the world are far more connected than anybody gives them credit for being. And so I've really been on a path of trying to help people see the complementarity of all of the religious traditions in the world, not just that, Catholics are this and Episcopalians are this and we have more differences than we have in common. That is not true. It's simply, whether we're talking about Jews or Buddhists or Baha'i or Hindus or anybody, if at the end of the day, people who are truly practicing in the original spirit of the tradition, I'm not saying fundamentalist traditions, I'm saying they all want to raise their kids the same way. Their values are the same. Family values are the same. So trying to help people become comfortable with that reality. Being in an Episcopal school is wonderful for me because it's a big tent and everybody has a place at the table. I think that for me that diversity would be one, the empowerment of women, and then helping people understand and appreciate and not be threatened by religious differences has been a real call for me. This is the thing that I think is true of all leadership, or good leadership, I hope, and I hope I'm in that category, that you get to a point where it's no longer about you. You know, your ego is basically dead, which is good, because then you can see what needs to be done. We don't know why there are so many wonderful expressions of communicating with the divine. And who are we to say one is better than another? If they all lead to goodness, if they all lead to a better world, you know, if lived out as they're meant to be lived out, very differently, but if at the end of the day they're all creating goodness in the world, who are we to judge? At each age in your life, you have something else to give. I mean, I'm the one who will give kids now, I think, you know how your grandmother will kind of say, oh, why did you do this? Come on, help me with this. You know, and you can talk to somebody in a way that if I were 40, I couldn't talk to them. I think they feel like I really have their best interest at heart, like their grandmother would, as opposed to their mother with whom there's chemistry and, you know, all that sort of thing. So that's the way I think I can work with these kids today. It's a different kind of relationship. I work with their teachers probably more in that endorsing, closer relationship thing than I would with the girls. The little girls are always fine, but when you get to the teenagers, you know, they need to have young, attractive people in their lives as their role models. You know, I'm past that, but I can serve them in another way. The older we get, the better it gets. If you're true to yourself. You know, that my life has changed so much. I mean, I've gone to different schools. I was a nun. I've lived all over the country. I've traveled all over the world, and it just gets better and better and better. To me, it's kind of like a great symphony orchestra, that everybody is doing whatever it is that they do best to make the music beautiful, or to bring forward whatever it is. And I'm trying to work with our people here who, as I said, have had some leadership turnovers. I mean, there are 4 or 5 heads of school in a very short time, and so trying to help everybody feel like they're part of the orchestra, and they have to play their best, and then our music will be beautiful. So I think, to me, that's community to me. It's not everybody kind of, with lobotomized, so that everybody just, guess we all do this the same way. No, it's kind of like everybody pulling together to do their best. And that's the other thing that I do believe about leadership, is you try to surround yourself with people who are all better than you are at what they do, than you could be at what they do. And that's the kind of death of ego thing that has to happen, and because I know that's a challenge for some people. But I think the more seasoned you become, the more you see, why am I doing this if I'm not just helping everybody go forward in this?